The Sandman was supposed to run for 4 seasons, but Netflix ended it after just 2, leaving fans both shocked and curious. Now, producer David S. Goyer has revealed exactly why the story wrapped up early, and it's not just one reason. When Goyer and showrunner Allan Heinberg first pitched The Sandman, they mapped it out as 4 seasons of 10 episodes each. The goal was to tell a faithful, sweeping adaptation of Neil Gaiman's legendary comic series. But once production began, they realized the story was moving faster than they expected. The early Sandman comics were short, with some issues barely 18 pages long. That meant the writers were sometimes adapting several of them in a single episode. And while the series wasn't a panel-for-panel recreation, the creative team didn't want to pad the story with unnecessary filler just to hit a target episode count. Netflix also pushed for a focus on Morpheus, the embodiment of Dream, as much as possible. That led to the removal of certain arcs where Dream had little to no presence, even though some of these were fan favorites in the comics. Season 1 had a more episodic structure with a Dream Case of the Week style. By contrast, Season 2 was designed with a clear narrative throughline that would take the story to its conclusion. Heinberg chose to adapt The Kindly Ones, the longest arc in the comics, into just 4 episodes. Goyer initially questioned the decision, but ultimately felt it worked without skipping over essential material. The second season also expanded certain character relationships beyond the comics. The dynamic between the Corinthian and Dream was deepened, while Puck and Loki were given more screen time as mischievous, unpredictable forces in the story. These creative additions helped make the final season feel distinct from its source, without losing the spirit of Gaiman's work.
This is my home, my place of power.
Some standalone issues from the comics were adapted, but others were left out because they were costly to produce. The combination of budget constraints and the fast pace of adapting the comics meant that by the end of Season 2, much of the key source material had already been covered. According to Goyer, this actually gave the writers a sense of creative freedom. Knowing they were building toward a definite end allowed them to make bold narrative choices instead of stretching the story and risking a loss of momentum. While creative pacing was the official explanation, it's hard to ignore other factors that may have influenced the decision. Multiple sexual misconduct allegations against Neil Gaiman surfaced, leading to delays and format changes on other projects like Good Omens. For The Sandman, this may have added pressure to wrap up the series earlier than planned, especially given the publicity risk. It's worth noting that The Sandman wasn't the only Gaiman-related project to face such disruptions, which makes the timing of the decision feel more than coincidental. Despite the early conclusion, Goyer and Heinberg worked to ensure the ending felt earned. The final episodes brought closure to major arcs while leaving just enough of an opening, with Daniel Hall stepping into the role of Dream to hint at what could come if the series were ever revived. The choice to end now rather than drag the story out means The Sandman avoids the trap of losing its narrative strength. It leaves behind a tightly woven, visually striking adaptation that stays true to its core while acknowledging that sometimes less is more.
The sun's come out.
What does that mean?
It means the kindly ones have gone.
For viewers, the end of The Sandman is bittersweet. There's disappointment that 2 more planned seasons will never happen, but also relief that the series didn't overstay its welcome or dilute its source material. It's rare for a streaming adaptation to prioritize storytelling integrity over stretching out episodes for subscriber retention. In that sense, The Sandman's ending might be frustrating, but it's also a creative decision that preserved the quality of the work. If you were hoping for more of Morpheus's journey, this news might sting. But perhaps in the world of the dreaming, endings are just another kind of beginning. Who knows? With the right timing and the right circumstances, the doors to the dreaming might open again someday. Let me know in the comments, do you think ending now was the right choice? Or should Netflix have pushed forward with seasons 3 and 4?
Daniel.
No, not any longer.